J Dolls, and I'm back with another video. Before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell. You guys, we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so don't play with us because we're never one of them. Make sure you put your post notifications on, guys, because I've been posting a video every day for Vlogmas. I'm gonna stop saying in the video what Vlogmas number it is, because then that limits what video I can put up. So yes, y'all, your girl's doing the whole month of Vlogmas, so until Christmas. So be happy about it, y'all. I'm being consistent. But anyways, y'all, today I'm doing a story time / telling y'all why my last situation didn't work out. So I'm gonna tell y'all this story. I'm gonna tell y'all how I manifest the wrong man. Let's just talk about that. Like, I manifest the wrong man, period. Okay, like, he's not a bad person, but he's not the person for me. So let me tell y'all what I did on some witchy stuff, y'all. Okay, so one day, y'all, I used to be really big in like tarot. Like, I would watch like tarot videos, like the ones with my sign in it, and then I'll see my readings and stuff like that. I was really big in this, y'all, and then I used to see a psychic, but like, which the psychic is my friend. You know, I'm not against psychics still to this day. I'd be like, I mess with psychics, but for me, I had to stop doing psychic readings. I had to stop doing tarot readings, mainly because of the simple fact I started letting it dictate my future, and then also simply the fact, like, I'm trying to know my future when I need to live in the present. Like, that's just another form of anxiety. It's like you're trying to know the future when you need to live in the present. Like, you can't control the future. Only God can control the future. So I had to learn that, and like, plus I'm getting more into my faith, so it's kind of like I'm very spiritual and I like angel numbers and stuff like that, but I kind of really stepped away from like tarot and like psychic readings, because not because I don't believe in them or anything like that. It's more because of the simple fact of like, I don't want to know my future, and I don't want to try to control my future, and I don't want to alter my future. All I want to do is live in the present. Like, I don't want to live in the past, and I don't want to live in the future. Like, I want to let God have control. Anyways, y'all, at this time, y'all, I used to see a psychic, which is my friend. And I used to also watch tarot readings on YouTube. Like, there's specific people that I like to watch. There's one guy I still really enjoy, but I just don't watch him because I just don't want to know what's happening in the future anymore. Like, I just want to live my life without anxiety. So, anyhow, how this relates to the story is, I'm going to just tell y'all, my psychic told me, when I seen her the first time, she told me that my ex, the one that's in my last video, his name was London. That's not his real name, but that's his nickname. So she had told me London was like not the one for me, and we were good together, and I learned a lot from him, but he wasn't the one for me. And at the time, I really believed it because we were just like kind of not aligned with our values at the time or whatever, but I was truly in love. So at that time, we was on a break though, so it was kind of like, okay, what she's saying is right, like da 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 da. So she was like, okay, you're gonna meet this guy, like it's about to be very fast, like you're gonna meet this guy, and like this guy is gonna be like your soulmate, like he's gonna be like the one you're gonna be with for a long time, and blah 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 blah, and he's gonna be everything you're looking for, practically. That's to sum it up, y'all. That's not her exact words, but to sum it up. So, y'all, I'm like, okay, like, how's that gonna happen? Like, at this point, I'm heartbroken, y'all. I'm really not trying to look for nobody. Like, I'm literally in the house. I'm literally in the car driving and crying. Y'all, what's so crazy is, I listened to Jasmine Sullivan's album today, and it brought a lot of emotions out of me, because I used to listen to that album when I was going through my breakup with London, because, like, truthfully, we loved each other. We didn't want to break up. Either one of us didn't want to break up. It was just the distance and all of our stuff. Like, I don't know. But we're still friends to this day. But I used to listen to that because at this time I told him, I was like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to, like, I just need to, like, I need to, like, focus on the just, like, separating myself. Because I have a really bad problem with, like, if I'm not with you no more, I got to really just never talk to you again. Like, I've never been friends with an ex. Like, I've never been, like, I don't know, like, never been cordial. It'd be like, I'm done with you. But it's usually for a good reason. But, like, my actual ex, there was like no reason for me to be like that. It's just like how I was. So anyways, y'all, I would listen to Jasmine Sullivan. This has nothing to do with this, but literally I would listen to Jasmine Sullivan, and I would be like crying. Like, so today when I went back and listened to it, oh my god, I was like, oh my god, like emotions. But anyways, y'all, so at the time I'm thinking, okay, my psychic, she's pretty right. But I'm like, how am I gonna find a man when I'm crying? I don't want to talk to nobody. I went on a date now for like a day, got off of there, like don't leave my house, like I'll just go to work and stuff like that. I work with nothing but women. There's no way that I'm gonna find a man. Like, there's no way. I'm not looking for a man. I don't want nothing to do with a man. I don't want to go no date. I don't want no conversations, because people after that was trying to like take me out, talk to me. No, I don't want none of that. So anyways, so what had happened was, one day after this whole situation, I was watching a YouTube video, and this girl said, one of your exes is about to come back. One of your exes is about to come back. Manifest the name of the ex you want to come back, and be very careful about who you manifest to come back. Y'all, I am not lying about this. Put my hand up to the sky, right? And you know what I mean, to the sky, but I ain't gonna say. I literally said, I'm gonna name him, Beats. And the only reason why I'm gonna name him Beats is because he liked music and making beats. So I'm gonna just name him Beats. So, y'all, like, I said Beats. I was like, okay, I want Beats to come back. Y'all, when I tell you, the tongue is very powerful. What you put in the world is very powerful. So you have to watch what you say. You have to watch your thoughts. Because when I tell y'all, a week, not even a week, I think it was like literally days later, Beats messaged me on Facebook. Don't be trying to go through my, oh Lord, bitch, I ain't gonna find him because his name ain't Beats. But anyway, y'all, this person messaged me on Facebook, which was my ex, and he was from like when I was 21. So this was an ex a long time ago, and he was like kind of like my first love. Like, he was the first man that I actually really loved, like kind of young love, not like the love that I've experienced now, right? So anyways, I named him because I was like, oh, we really were good together. We really didn't have problems like that. Like, we used to have like a disagreements kind of sometimes with communication stuff, but for the most part, like, we were cool. Like, we were pretty compatible back then. But he moved to another state. So like I said, y'all, days later, he ends up messaging me on Facebook. And he tells me that he moved back here and that he would love to take me out to dinner and blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, okay. Well, at this time, you know, me and my ex had just broke up. Probably it's been like 2 months. And so I'm like, I'm not really trying to go on this date. Like, I'm actually sad right now. Like, I actually want my old nigga back. But I'm going to just go because it's like, I might as well. Like, my psychic said that, like, I'm about to meet the love of my life. Like, let me just go out. If I don't go out, I ain't gonna meet nobody. So anyways, y'all, which I'm happy I did. I'm happy I dated him. I'm happy I did go through that because A, he helped me through a lot of things, which we'll talk about. And B, I was gonna go into my whole phase, y'all. And I'm too old to keep going through no whole phase. It's like, I'm too old and I'm too much of a lover girl. It doesn't work for me. So like, I think God was really trying to save me more than anything. So when I went on this date, it was cool. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The first date, it was like, cause y'all, we used to be together and we was together for like, the first time we were together when I was 21, we were only together for about 3 months, right? But we spent a lot of time together. So this time when we got back to talking again on our date, I was like, he's a little weird. But the thing about me is I knew that Beats was weird before. So I thought, okay, that's kind of quirky. It's kind of funny. You know what I mean? So anyways, y'all, we're on a date. Everything's cool. Like, he pays for the food. Now, I'm going to tell y'all the little red flags about him. There was actually a few red flags about him. But on the first date, he was like, oh, like, do you have cash for a tip? So this is the thing, y'all. With me, when I go out with my man or any man that's even not my man, I don't pay for nothing. Like, the only time I pay is if it's your birthday or it's my treat, like I actually want to take you out or something like that. Like, but if it's a normal time and you're asking me out, like you're paying for everything. Like, just like if I take you out, I'm paying for everything. I'm paying the tip too. So I was like, no, I don't have cash. Like, I really don't carry cash for real. So it's like, yeah, no. So anyways, that was kind of red flag to me, because I'm like, but if you don't just put a tip on that receipt, like, at this time though, when we was talking, he kind of said that, like, you know, he just moved back here in Minnesota, he had a good job and stuff like that. Y'all gotta understand that y'all have to really know that everybody has a definition of what a good job is, okay, y'all? Because for me, I feel like I have a decent job. I don't even feel like I have a good job. I have a decent job. Like, I make a decent salary. Like, I can live off of it. And I can live comfortably. And I can live a little bit nicer. Like, I'm not, like, rich, right? A good job to me is, like, you making 6 figures. That's what I say as a good job, personally. What I would say is, like, a decent to good job is, like, you're literally making at least 60 plus, $1,000 a year, right? So that's how I feel the range goes in my mind, right? Because I have bills. People that don't got bills, their definition of good money is different than people that got bills. Let's just say that. So anyways, boom. I'm thinking, okay, like, he done, like, really upgraded his life. Like, okay, because when I seen his, I ain't gonna say too much because I'm gonna try to search. But anyways, y'all, I'm thinking, okay, he really doing the thing. I'm thinking at this point he had already graduated school. But to find out he dropped out of school, like college, because he literally moved to go to college. And then he didn't finish college. So yeah, y'all, like, I guess, like, when I first met him, it was kind of like trying to even figure this stuff out. Because, like, I didn't know about a lot of this stuff until I started, like, actually dating him more. So anyways, y'all, on the first date, y'all, we was doing some, like, we ain't do nothing. Like, we ain't do nothing, but we got, like, a little freaky. I ain't gonna say what we did, but we got a little freaky in the car, but we didn't actually do the thing. Let's just say that. Let's just keep it like that. We didn't do too much. But it was just a simple fact that, like, we were together before. Like, we were in a whole relationship before, y'all. Like, we got videos together. Like, he don't still got them, and I didn't have them, but somebody sent them to me that I used to be friends with. She still had the videos. But y'all, like, we used to be, like, outside with each other for real. So anyway, at this point, when we first meet, we really talked to each other about, he was telling me about how he wasn't looking for a relationship right now. Like, he just got out of a relationship. So, like, he's not, like, trying to rush into it. Like, he wants to date and he wants to see how it goes with us dating. And I told him, like, I'm kind of on the same page. Like, I just got out of a relationship. Like, he had got out of a relationship 6 months before. I had just got out of a relationship 2 months ago, y'all. And, like, I just got out of a relationship with the love of my life. Like, this is a whole nother type of psychological thing. So, for me, during the meantime, while I was dating him, I was also going to therapy to get over my situation with my ex-boyfriend, London. I was going to therapy, kind of breaking down what I was thinking about it. And let me just tell y'all what my therapist told me. And this is one reason why I don't really suggest, now that I've been through, like, the psychic thing, unless you have really, like, strong control over your mind and your decisions, and you're not going to let what people say sway your decisions. I kept thinking, like, okay, if I leave Beats and I go back to London, because I kept thinking during that time, I want to go back to London. I want to be with London. I want to be with London. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, that's literally what I was thinking. And I was like, no, I need to be strong. I need to just move forward, because, like, this is supposed to be the love of my life. And so when I would go to therapy, I would tell my therapist, like, hey, like, I really want to go back to London. I love London. This. I would literally be talking about him while I am talking to somebody else, literally. Right? And then I would be like, but I'm scared that if I go back to London, then, and this, I'm going to lose out on something that was supposed to be, like, life-lasting or long-lasting. And what she told me was, nothing that's meant for you will pass you, pretty much. And kind of, I kept seeing this around, actually, y'all, around this time when I was talking to Beats. I would be listening, I would see that, that one video on Instagram with Pharrell that says, like, what God has for you, no man can take that. And that is so true. So like, if that's supposed to be your soulmate, you're gonna have your soulmate regardless, type of thing. But I didn't listen to her. I'm just like, I need to separate myself. I need to separate myself. I need to move forward. I need to move forward. I'm one of those people, like, I gotta take action, and like, I'm very impatient. Like, I don't really, and that's something I was working through in therapy. I was not a good communicator. It was a lot of things that I actually wasn't good at, and too much of myself. I used to think they were the problem all the time, but like, I did have a little bit of problems. Like, I had problems with communicating, and then I had problems with being patient and working through problems. I would say that, like, I'm a runner, I'm a track star. She's a runner, she's a track star. When it gets hot. Yeah, that's literally me, y'all. So anyways, at this point, we're talking, we're dating, right? So at first it's very casual. We actually don't text every day, which was very different, because anybody I dated, even if we were casually dated, we would text every day. So we would text every day, but we'll see each other probably at that time, maybe a couple times a week. So we keep dating, and then eventually, oh y'all, let me tell you about the second date. The second date, the only reason why the only reason why we went on the second date is because my old coworker, she told me to relax and give him a chance. Because I was going to cut him off. I was going to cut him off before the second date beats, right? Because the second date, he literally asked me to go to the movies, which he was very obsessive over the movies. Like, he wanted to go to the movies all the time, and it kind of made me hate the movie theaters. Like, I've never been a movie girl like that in general though, but like, the fact that we would always go to the movies and that he found it would be fun. Like, I used to fall asleep in the movie theaters, so I used to hate the movie theaters. Like, I would just go because I knew he liked it, and I don't even think he knows that I didn't like the movie theaters. He knew I would fall asleep, but I don't think he knew that, like, I absolutely hate the movies, or like, maybe I just hate going to the movies with him. I don't know. I'm breaking down some thoughts. I'm breaking down what internal work. Okay, y'all? But anyways, so he asked me to go to the movies. But then in the text, he literally told me, like, oh, well, we picked out the time and stuff. He's like, I hope you know you're paying this time. Excuse me? Excuse the F out of me. So, y'all, the thing about me is I get triggered easily. Like, I can get triggered. I'm emotional, and I react off emotions. That's something I've worked on. But I text him and I went off on him. Like, if you don't have the money, just say that. If you're broke, just say that. If you're broke, just say that. Alright? So I literally was just telling him, like, if you just need help paying for it, you should have asked me. You don't just tell me that I'm paying, because that's, like, not going to happen. And anybody I've been with, they pay for everywhere we go. Like, I'm not, you guys, I'm not capping. I'm not, literally, there's only been one man I've been with that he didn't pay for everywhere we went. Like, he was broke. And I made a video about how his car declined at Cheesecake Factory. If y'all want to see that, go look. That was a couple years ago, I think I made that video. So anyways, y'all, and I got a lot of views. So anyways, I'm used to, man, he paying for it. He paying. Even the ones that I've been with, even my sneaky link didn't have money, and he still was paying for it. So at the end of the day, I'm like, nah, like, so I go off on him. And at this point, I'm like, nah, I'm done with you. I'm never going to talk to you again. In my head, that's what I'm on. So I told my coworker about it, and she's like, you need to really, like, just talk to him, try to communicate, because maybe, like, you know, a lot of people do 50-50. Some people don't understand that other people want the providers. Maybe he didn't know you wanted that. Like, you need to communicate with him and this and this, because, like, I'm okay with usually going half and half, and he might be used to that. And so I'm like, because he texted me again after I didn't respond, because he was like, are we still going? Or because he was like, oh, I have the, when he responded, he's like, I have the money, like, I'll pay, you know. Are we? And then I literally didn't, like, respond, because like, haha, I have the money, like, it's not a big deal, I'll pay. And I didn't respond, because at this point I'm like, it's done for you. It's clips. It's a clipper for your ass, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like, bro, this is the second date. The first day you already asked, do I got cash for a tip? No, I don't. A tip get a new bitch, because I am not one of them. Like, if you need to date a low class chick. That's what you need to do, right? And I can't tell y'all, when I was 21, maybe I was going half and half with him. I cannot remember. But maybe that is something I was doing at 21. But baby, now I'm 27, about to be 28, baby. I would need a real man. And if you can't afford the movie theaters, if you can't go to Bella Noche's, where can you go? Okay, so anyways, y'all, he had me hot, so I didn't respond. He was like, so are we still going or not? So I'm like, okay, sure, we can go. So after this, I had a conversation with him in the car when we go to the movie theater, because I was learning communication, and I talked to my therapist, and she's like, you should just talk to him and just let him know that you like a more 70-30 relationship, which I do. Like, I'll treat you when I feel like, okay, I want to treat you, right? Like, this might sound bad, but this is like, I want a manly man. I want a masculine man. I do believe in gender roles, right? And I want normal gender roles. Like, and then when I get married, I want those gender roles. Like, I don't want to be the whole nigga bringing in all the money and taking on the kids and cooking and cleaning, and like, no, that is for the ghetto, okay? And that's not for me. That's just not what I want, okay? So no, we're not doing that. So anyways, so I explained to him, he agreed, he was fine with that. He'll do 70-30. I had to put the principle so he knows most of the time he's gonna pay. So that's how I got him used to like paying majority of the time. Which I think I deserve it anyways, because he was always at my house. And at my house, I pay my rent, I pay my light bill, I pay my heat, I pay my gas, I pay my water. You're using all of that, right? I'm paying it. You come here and if you eat something, I'm paying for that. So anyways, I think it's fair. So, boom. That was red flag number 2. But I was like, I'm gonna let this slide because maybe I'm being crazy. We are inflation right now. We are in a recession. Like, we talked about it. We got past it. We agreed on 70-30. We agreed that he would let me know if he couldn't afford something, and then I will pay. Okay? So we got that under control, y'all. This is why women, you gotta communicate. Oh, these men gonna take advantage of you. So y'all, that was kind of that. We got past that. I was like, okay, cool. At this point, I like him, but I start to feel like I liked him because I was comfortable with him, like, or I just like being in a relationship. Like, that's what I'm gonna talk about. We weren't even in a relationship, y'all. We was in a situationship, like, which I'm gonna make a whole nother video on, like, how you don't love yourself if you entertain situationships, and kind of how to get out of those attachment styles or whatever. I'm gonna make a video on that. So either ways, y'all, we get past this hurdle. At this point, I enjoy being with him. It's like I kind of have a companion, right? Like, we hang out every other day. He's at my house, or we're going to the movies, or we're going to dinner, or, you know, we're doing stuff together. And like, we have fun times. Don't get me wrong, like, I had a very fun Valentine's Day with him. That was very fun. I had a fun birthday with him. That was very fun. Like, we had very fun experiences. But y'all, what I noticed about our very fun experiences is he was always drunk every time we had those experiences. When he was sober, he was very boring. And this is not to be mean, because I really love him as a person. Like I said, like, he don't even probably know this, but he was my first love. But like, I love him as a person, but it's just like, we're not compatible. Like, our personalities are just not compatible. Like, he could probably make it work with me, but I couldn't make it work with him, just because it's like, I keep complaining about his personality. That's him. Like, you can't complain about a person, right? So anyways, at this point, like I said, we have these fun times together. We're still not progressing. Like, we literally been dating for, like, y'all, we literally was dating for 9 months. We done spent Thanksgiving together. We done spent Christmas together. We done spent Valentine's Day together. He was there for my surgery. He done met my mom. And the reason why he met my mom is because of my surgery, because I wanted him to help take care of me, and then he was going to end up coming over when my mom was over, and he was going to take over for my mom when she had to go to work and stuff like that. So it was like, he kind of like had to meet my mom. Now, he didn't have to, but I just thought it would make more sense, just in case they ran into each other at the hospital. And then he met my brother, and so it was just like we were kind of entangled into a relationship that wasn't a relationship. So at this point, I started getting fixated on like, okay, well, I need to be in a relationship. Like, what are we doing? Like, are we going to be in a situationship forever? Are we going to be in a relationship? What are we doing? And I don't even know why I was getting fixated on this. I think I was just so used to like just wanting to be in a relationship. Ladies, that's why you gotta like value yourself and like stop being obsessive of being with people and just learn how to be alone. So for me, I feel like I just want to be with somebody. So I'm like, are we going to be together or we not? So at this point, he kept making these excuses on like how like he really needs, because he was in a relationship before, and how it threw him off track, how he didn't finish school, how like he's back in school now, which he is now, and how he wants to really complete that, get a career, and then be in a relationship. And how he doesn't mind like us just exclusively being with each other, which we were just exclusively being with each other, but he just doesn't want to like knock the focus off of what he blah 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 excuses. Because for me personally, I feel like as a man, if you really want somebody, you're gonna be like, I want you to be mine only, right? If you don't really fuck with the person like that, if they're a placeholder, you're gonna be like, nah, I don't want to be with her. So I think he didn't want to be with me. And then, like, at that time, too, I started realizing I didn't want to be with him. Because, like, I felt like I was just kind of, like, nagging only because I wanted a relationship, but I didn't really want it with him. And I didn't realize that until it started getting towards the end of this situation, because I complained so much in this relationship. Like, I'm not going to lie, like, situationship or whatever, like, I was very sexually frustrated. I'm not gonna go into details about it. That was the last straw for me. Like I am a Pisces, but I have Scorpio on my chart. Like, y'all, I am a freak. Like, I don't play them type of games. Like, if you ain't on my freak level, we not going to last for long. Like, trust me, like, we're not. Like, I like a man. So it's like, no, like, that was also like a big factor that was like, he was turning me off in several ways, like in several different ways. And then the simple fact that he was a little bit boring. Like, he just wanted to watch Netflix. He didn't want to go to the movie theaters. And yeah, we used to go out to eat and stuff like that. But then, like, when I got my weight loss surgery, it seemed like he started getting annoyed because I couldn't go out to eat. And he's like, oh, you can't eat yet? You can't do this? Oh, you can't try this? And I'm like, bro, like, I was starting to get frustrated too, because he was eating so unhealthy and I was eating healthy, or I could not eat. So it was kind of getting me disgusted. Like, I think you understand if you ever had weight loss surgery, like, and you start being healthy, or anyways, if you start losing weight and being healthy without surgery, and then your partner is not, you start feeling like irritated with them, especially when you can't eat. When you can't eat for a whole month, and then you got somebody eating burritos and Taco Bell and McDonald's and all of this junk food, you're like, bro, get that shit away from me type vibe. Like, bro, it be getting you pissed off. When I tell you, when you lose weight, it clears up your mind, and when you're not having junk food, all that brain fog goes away. You, like, I started getting to the point where I kept staying with him, because there was plenty of times I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if this is gonna work. And I kept staying with him because I'm like, no, I need to stick it through, because I'm trying to work on, like, not running from problems, trying to communicate, like, what if this is the love of my life, and I need to, like, work through communication, because I don't know how to communicate. I just know how to break up with people. So I really did try to communicate, but I was just feeling, I started to feel like our personalities were not compatible. Like, the things he enjoyed, I didn't enjoy. I was raised around, like, I grew up with someone that was an alcoholic, not my mother, but I grew up with somebody that was an alcoholic, and that is something that's really weighs heavy on me. I don't play games about alcohol. I don't play games about drugs. None of that type of stuff. For me, like, I can drink. I can drink them down. I really can drink them down. But for me, I know how to control myself. First of all, and I can drink a lot, and I have a high tolerance. I know how to carry myself. I know how to thoroughly think when I'm drinking. And also, I know how to limit myself. Like, I drink on occasions. Like, when I'm going out to the club, or I'm going out for someone's birthday, or I'm going out to dinner. This man would drink every day he was with me. He would be drinking something. Like, he drank every day. Like maybe when he, y'all, oh yeah, not to mention he lived with his mom. Maybe when he was living with his mom, like maybe when he was home, because he was at my house every other day. Maybe when he was at home, he didn't drink. But at my house, he drank every day. And to mention, he's tried drugs. Nobody knows who he is, so it's not like I'm putting his business out there. But in the past, he's tried drugs, and like that was when we was 21. When I was 21, he tried acid, and I literally freaked out on him, and I was about to break up with him. I literally told him, I'm about to break up with you because like I literally cried because I don't play them type of drug games, and like back then I was really young, so it's like I was very upset. I was just like, what is wrong with you? Like, why would you do that? You know, like, why would you take acid? Like, I was pissed. So, yeah, he's tried acid. The man's tried coke. He's just tried a bunch of stuff. Like, he gives me white boy vibes. No offense to the white people, but it's like, you just trying shit at this point. Like, yeah, just relax. Like, you need to try to go see a therapist and fight through your demons, because drugs and alcohol is not a way to fight through your demons. And so for me, I can't be with somebody that has an addictive personality at all, because I don't play them type of games. And he was a Gemini, y'all. Geminis have very addictive personalities. I don't care what nobody say. Most of the Geminis I know have tried so many different things or get addicted to shit. Like they be fucked up in the head. Period. Point blank, period. Don't get mad at me if you watch this as Gemini. But yeah, y'all. So like, kind of when he had told me, like, what happened was we was playing this one game. These are all the red flags, y'all. We was playing this one game, and it kept giving him the drug questions. And one of the questions was, have you ever done coke? That's when I found out he had done coke. So I was like, at that point, I wanted to not talk to him no more. Like, literally, I had told my therapist, I was like, I don't know, like, if I should be talking to him. Like, he done coke. Like, I don't play them games. Like, if you do a line around me, it's donezo. If you do a line in my house, you better hope you don't, like, you better hope we don't get domestic in here. Like, that type of stuff is crazy to me. Like, and then my therapist kind of talked to me, try to sort it through with me. Like, maybe he just tried it before. Maybe you need to have a discussion if he would try it again, and this and this and that. He never did it around me. He never did it in my house. I don't think he even did it during the 9 months we were dating. But it was just the simple fact that he did it in the past, that I was just like, that it disgusted me. So at that point, that made me want to break it off. It was just so many things that was like calculating, that was like making me want to just break it off with him. But for me, what happened, y'all? So my final straw, y'all. So another thing about him, he was very avoidant, y'all. Like, very avoidant. Like, if you want to bring up an issue, he would like not want to answer it, or he would like get quiet, or, you know, try to, like, I don't know how to explain it, but he didn't like confrontation. With me, I don't like confrontation either, but I like to address shit. Like, if I feel some type of way, I need to address it. So, y'all, at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm in this situationship. I'm with somebody that he don't even want to be in a relationship. He want to be in a relationship, but he don't want to be in a relationship, right? Then on the fact that he said, oh, you know, I feel like once I'm ready for school, and once I'm done with school and stuff like that, then I'll be ready. And the simple fact that I'm not just going to leave you. Like, if I'm dating you through school, I'm not going to just leave you or anything like that. You're not, so you think you're going to just date me for years? Like, are you nuts? Are you cuckoo? Like, that's not going to happen for me. Like, baby, I'm impatient. Like, nigga, in 2 years, you should want to marry me. Put a ring on my girl when I marry me. So at this point, I was just like, no, this is getting ridiculous. So at this point, I'm getting frustrated because I feel like he got commitment issues. I've been down this route. I did not want to go down this route again. But like, I know we started off casual because I got a relationship. I wasn't ready for a relationship. He wasn't ready for a relationship. Truthfully, going through that process, I realized, even though I was saying like, okay, what are we doing? I wasn't ready for a relationship with him either. Like, let's be honest, I wasn't ready for a relationship. I just wanted to be in a relationship because I truthfully was still in love with my ex. And I kept comparing him, and I think that's why he disgusted me so much, because I just didn't like his personality. I didn't like the addictive personality about him. I didn't like that he was boring. I didn't even like that when he got high, his jokes were corny as fuck. I couldn't even laugh at him. Like, I was just like, he was draining my energy. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, being around him, which he probably never knew this, because I'm not one of those people. Like, I will just get quiet. Like, you would just not know. Like, he was draining my energy. I would be like, okay, like, go home, Roger. Like, after too many days with him, we would get into like, oh, like, not argument, but disagreement. Like, okay, go ahead, bye. Like, that type of environment. Or let me go in the room and be quiet and ignore you type shit. You know what I mean? Like, it was just too much. It was kind of like living with a man, but not living with him. And that was a lot for me, because I don't like to be in close quarters with a man that much when we don't live together. Like, that is overwhelming to me, especially if our personalities don't flow naturally, if that makes sense. So anyways, y'all, I went to my friends. I remember this. And I was talking to one of my friends in my friend group. And I was just telling them about my situationship and da-da-da-da, how we've been dating for 9 months and da-da-da. And she was like, you need to realize this man doesn't want nothing with you. He's wasting your time. Don't waste your time. You need to let this go. Like, when I tell you she was being my mama, she was on my ass. Like, it was like, stop making excuses and get the fuck on. That is pretty much what she summed it up to. And I was like, at this point, before that, I had already had a conversation with Beats, like, hey, I think we should start spending less time together. Like, I feel like if we're, like, trying to be casual, I think instead of seeing each other every other day, maybe once, twice a week, max, we should start seeing each other. And he was like, okay. Like, I'm like, yeah, I just don't feel like we need to be seeing each other this much. And, I think he knew then that I would probably be done with him soon. So, before that, after my friend had told me all that stuff, I was like, okay, I need to make a decision. So then I go talk to Beats, and I kind of tell him like how my mindset is. Like, I feel like he's wasting my time and blah, blah, blah. And then this is when we had the whole conversation about like him dating me while he's in school and da-da-da-da, whatever. That's when we had that conversation. And I was just like, I'm just not happy with that. I don't think that's something I'm going to want to do, da-da-da. So I was like, I think I'm going to have to be done. And he was like, are you sure? Like, are you want to be done? Or like, what? Just let me know. You need to let me know. I was like, well, I need to like think about it. And because I started reneging, because I was like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Because I always prematurely break up with people and then I get back with them, because like I literally don't let it run its course. I don't let it run its course till I hate them. Like, you gotta let it run its course till you hate them. Like, I learned that from this last situation, y'all. So anyways, I was like, I'm gonna think about it, whatever. So I ended up messaging him, and I was like, you know, actually, I don't think we should be done. Like, I think we should give it a chance and see how I feel, see what it thinks. Okay. So boom, he's like, okay, cool. Y'all, the last 2 breaking points for me. One was, first of all, he was trying to self-sabotage my weight loss. I really don't know if he was happy that I was losing weight and I had weight loss surgery. Like, beforehand, he acted like he was fine with the weight loss surgery. And he was there for me, supported me. But then he started saying, like, oh, are you going to have complications and stuff? And I was like, it's a chance and stuff like that. And then he was there for me during the surgery. But then he would, like, be like, when can you eat burritos? When can you eat rice? Like, comment on, like, the food that I'm eating, and like bringing food like around me, and like not being sensitive to me and stuff like that. Like, wanting me to go to restaurants when I'm on a liquid diet. Like, the stuff, it was kind of like he was trying to self-sabotage me. And I think maybe because he wasn't happy with his weight. But this is just me assuming, because I'm trying to get better at that. Because sometimes I do overthink and think everybody trying to self-sabotage me, everybody hating on me. So I really am trying to work on that. So I'm not going to say this exactly, but he was doing weird stuff. Like, when can you eat burritos? When can you eat rice? Like, nigga, when I can eat it, I'm not going to be eating it. Like, I'm going to cook my food. I'm going to eat healthy. Like, I literally told him this. Like, and so anyways, y'all. Fast forward, I done had the surgery already. We had our hiccup. We end up saying we're gonna stick it through. It's time for a wedding. So we had already planned that we're gonna go to my friend's wedding, my friend's mom's wedding together. And he was gonna be my date. We already planned to match and everything, but at the time he was getting his suit, I was there to help him pick out his suit. I was literally out of surgery in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and I was out with him, you know, getting the suit, helping him pick out his suit, which was fine. Then when it was time to pick out my dress, like we was actually in an argument, not an argument, but we just weren't talking like that, and so I picked out my dress on my own, just trying to match it with his suit. And so we went to this wedding together, y'all. This is when I start to realize that I actually hated this man. And it's not hate like as in, oh, I wish you the worst. But you know when you start when you date somebody for so long and you start getting disgusted with them, that's when I knew that hate is the wrong word. That's when I started getting disgusted with him. So at the wedding, y'all, I'm 3 weeks post-op VSG weight loss surgery, y'all. So I can't drink. I can eat, but it's very light. So I had got the fish, which was fine. I couldn't eat the rice. I couldn't have no alcohol. I didn't, whatever. I'm having a good time. This is my first wedding ever. Y'all, Beats, it's an open bar, y'all. Beats gets so drunk. It's just a mess. Like, before he even gets drunk, it's like we're disconnected. You know when you're, like, with somebody and you're like, why am I with them? That's how it was. Like, literally my friend's aunt was taking our pictures and was like, are y'all actually together? Or, like, are y'all not? Like, are y'all just here? Like, all together? Like, oh, yeah, like, we're together. And she's like, okay, get close. Like, we were looking awkward. Then, y'all, he started drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. So the aunt came back again and got a picture, and he's all cuddly and close, and we're smiling. She's like, oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see. Like, then, y'all, he was so drunk, like, he started kissing me and, like, holding me and, like, grabbing my ass. Like, this is in front of everybody. Like, y'all, we are literally at the reception, okay? And, like, he is sloppy drunk. Like, his tie is, like, looking sloppy. He's looking sloppy. He's literally eating his steak with 2 forks. He drops the steak on himself. He is a hot ass mess. And I don't like to be embarrassed. The one thing about me is I do not like to be embarrassed. Okay? I like to look good. I like to feel good. And if I'm outside, I'm not going to put you in your place like that. Like, for real. I'm just going to act like everything's cool. But when I get back to the house, I'm going to be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be cool because maybe I'm not, just because I'm not drinking. There was a lot of drunk people there. I'm like, maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Y'all, sorry, my camera's overheating, so I don't know how long it's gonna last. So I'm thinking maybe it's me. But at this point, I'm getting irritated. Like, everyone's like, oh, Beats he's kissing you, and like he was hugging me and holding my hand. But before that, he wasn't doing any of that. The only time this man was affectionate is when he was drunk, which was sick to me. I didn't like that. Like, I like me affectionate, man. Like, my ex was very affectionate, and I was very affectionate with him. Like, I ain't never been affectionate like that with a man, but it made me learn that I really love affection. If I really love you, I'm gonna show you that too. Like, if I'm in love with you, you're gonna see that. I just not in love with you if you ain't see that. That's how I feel. So, y'all, he's a mess. Then I lose him. Like, he goes missing at this wedding. He is drunk and he goes missing. So I'm freaking out. Like, what if he left outside? Because I drove us there. So, because I knew he was going to drink and I didn't have to drink. He usually drives us everywhere. So I'm like, what if he went outside? Or I'm not going to find him. What if he's throwing up in the bathroom? So I go to the bathroom looking for him. He's not in the bathroom. So I'm like, where the heck? This place is huge. This venue is huge. It has like 3 floors. So I'm running around trying to find this man. And the wedding planner was like, are y'all looking for this guy? And we're like, yeah. She was like, oh, someone's over there sleeping. This man was knocked out snoring downstairs. I was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, my friend's fiance was like, oh, like, he's fine. Just have a good time. I was like, nah, it's time to go. So at that point, like, I was very frustrated. And I was, like, really over him. And I was like, yeah, it's time for him to be done. And then my final point was when I was sexually frustrated, y'all. I literally was feeling myself. I had a new body. And this man was acting very weird. Like, he would, like, I don't want to go into details, but, like, he was acting very weird. And I'm like, is it because I lost weight? Is it because, I don't know, like, I started questioning myself and then questioning him. And so I was just like, I'm just not happy. So I told him, I was like, you know what? Because we were supposed to hang out the next day and go swimming. I was like, nah, I don't think we should hang out. And then I sent him a text message, y'all, and I broke up with him through text message. And then I asked him if he could bring my parking pass back because he had my parking pass. And then I called it a day. So that's kind of how it ended, y'all. That was very long-winded. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.